Welcome everyone to the Thursday routine weekly briefing. My name is Nick Lucchetti. I'm a meteorologist here at the Raleigh office, and this briefing will cover the period today, January 23rd, through next Wednesday, January 29th. So we'll go ahead and start with the upcoming weather pattern during this time period, like we normally do. You can see in the upper left, our system that brought the snow is well offshore at this point, and we're kind of just stuck in this lingering cold air mass and dry air mass. So we're expecting to see continued dry and cold temperatures. I'm actually reading here on our office, our temperature probe has 31 degrees out there right now, 11:30, and it's not going to warm up too much more today. So we're forecasting highs in the mid 30s. And we got some cloudier skies today as well, so that should help keep temperatures down this afternoon as well. So it's gonna be dry and cold, and that's gonna continue into tonight. So we do have some overnight lows we're expecting in the upper teens. It should be not too much wind or anything like that, so we're not expecting to reach a cold weather advisory criteria or anything like that. However, the main concern tonight, similarly to this morning, is that there is some lingering snow, so we will get a little snow melt out there and some runoff, and given that we're going to be well below freezing tonight, there could be refreezing on some surfaces, so we could have some isolated black ice potential, but also just some on those backcountry roads and neighborhood roads where there's some lingering snow could refreeze and be a little icy and slick. So we recommend, we're continuing to message for motorists to take it easy, particularly tonight and in the morning commute tomorrow, and watch out for those potential slick spots. As we progress into tomorrow and then into Saturday, as you can see in this upper right panel here, this high pressure system over the central US later today will migrate overhead, so that will promote continued dry and cooler conditions. This weekend, we will see highs start to gradually increase Saturday afternoon. Maybe it'll reach closer to lower 40s, and then maybe on Sunday afternoon up into the mid 40s. But overall, it should be pretty chilly air mass continuing into the weekend. Overnight lows are also expected to continue to dip into the upper teens to lower 20s as well over the weekend. As we progress into early to middle of next week, we do have a system that develops in the deep south, and out ahead of that, we will see a little bit of warmer air move into our area. So we are expecting highs by Wednesday to move back into the lower to mid 50s. And while overnight lows will still be at or just below freezing over that time period, they should be a bit warmer than what we're expecting tonight and into the weekend. With that system, there's some uncertainty. However, we are highlighting right now at least a slight chance for some light rain on Monday, particularly across our southern counties. One thing to know, and I'll touch on this at the end too, is that there is a little bit of uncertainty with respect to there could be perhaps maybe a brief period of some very light freezing rain at onset Monday morning. We'll continue to monitor that. The models aren't in really great agreement with respect to that, including some are actually entirely dry on Monday. So we will highlight right now just liquid rain, but we will continue to monitor that as we progress through the weekend. And then by Tuesday, Wednesday, it does look like the guidance shows that things should dry out behind that Monday system. So this is just the accumulated precipitation forecast for the next 5 days. You can see that not expecting any precipitation except maybe on Monday across our southern areas, but that might have to be refined here over the next several days depending on how the guidance trends. But overall, not expecting much rain or any precipitation in general over the next 5 to 7 days. Won't spend much time on this. As you could probably guess, there is no chance for severe weather in this period, and the next 3 days here, given that it's going to be dry, we are not expecting any excessive rainfall as well. This is the latest drought update that came out this morning. That it is important to note that this analysis does not include Tuesday's snow. However, the main takeaway here is that the D1 moderate drought has expanded somewhat into our southern Piedmont and into the foothills. As you can see, comparing it to last week's drought status, you can see that those abnormally dry areas are now categorized as in moderate drought. So it has been dry, and looks like for the foreseeable future, unfortunately, it continues to be pretty dry. So this will be something we'll continue to monitor over the next several weeks. Now, skipping ahead a little bit more into the extended range, we like to show these 6 to 10 day outlooks, temperature and precipitation outlooks from the Climate Prediction Center, and also in the next slide I'll show the 8 to 14 day as we kind of head into early February. But for these slides, this is valid for the period January 28th through February 1st, so the end of the month. This was issued yesterday. So on the left here, the temperature outlook, it looks like the signals are expecting chances favor near normal temperatures in North Carolina, which I've listed out the normal temperatures in this time range at the bottom there. So not expecting any kind of crazy cold or any kind of crazy warmth. So the chances favor near normal temperatures over our area. And then on the right here, it looks like there's at least a slightly above, chances favor maybe slightly above normal precipitation over our area in that time period. And then beyond that, looking more in the 8 to 14 day outlook. So this is January 30th through February 5th, so the first couple days of February. The temperature signals are potentially for, we could see maybe above normal temperatures. Again, I've listed the normal temperatures during this time period on the slide below. But looks like there is maybe a signal for perhaps a little bit above normal temperatures in that time range. And additionally, for precipitation on the right there, it does look like there's maybe a little bit more of a signal for better chances for above normal precipitation. But neither of these are, really high-end probabilities, so nothing too concerning this far out. We like to show this graphic. This is the experimental graphic hazards weather outlook, which you can access on the link shown there on the slide. I've just taken a screenshot of the matrix here. And you can see that the only thing that it's flagging is a limited category for excessive cold for the next several days. Again, we're not expecting any temperatures to reach cold weather advisory during this time span. However, it is going to be below normal temperatures, so I think that's why it's flagging it. But nothing too concerning as far as physiological effects from excessive cold, but it will be below normal during this time period. Before I get to the summary slide, this is something that we wanted to are starting to highlight and message. Unfortunately, I guess they're up in Forsyth County last week. There was unfortunately an accident where 3 young children fell through a pond, and unfortunately one of them passed away. So we wanted to, given that we've had some cold air this year and we've seen there are some frozen ponds, that this is something that we're messaging, and we would like you all to message as well. That in Central North Carolina down here, it's not like up north where you can go play hockey at the golf course on a lake. Here in Central North Carolina, it's not consistently cold enough to really allow for anybody to get on these. So we really recommend people do not go on frozen lakes or ponds. So if you all could have the ability to disseminate this information out, that would be great as well. That would be helpful. So just a quick summary, and then I can take any questions you have. So again, dry and cold through this weekend, with a slight warming trend early to middle next week. There's a slight chance of light rain on Monday from that system coming up from the south. And again, we will continue to monitor for perhaps maybe some light freezing rain at onset Monday morning. But there's too much uncertainty right now. So we have gone with a liquid forecast, all liquid on that day for now, and then drying out Tuesday and Wednesday. As far as hazards and impacts, again, there could be some isolated patches of melted snow runoff from today, and that will refreeze tonight. So again, we're urging motorists to continue to use extra caution tonight and early tomorrow morning, and maybe even into Saturday morning. And with that, that's all I have, and I'd be happy to take any questions that you might have.